Hi guys, I am T with T's Timeless Jewels. I'm an independent consultant with Paparazzi. Here I am going to show you guys how I recover my bust. That is the before, and then the other one is the after. I use a stretch fabric in order to do this job. Here I'm actually just cleaning them off. You still want to clean them before you actually apply the fabric. And it is a very thin piece of I guess nylon fabric. It's like a stretch fabric. It does have a little bit of give in it, so you don't want to get some stiff fabric. You want to make sure it's nice and stretchy, but not too stretchy. So I took my tabs off, and I will replace those once I'm done. I'm just showing you how I just pop those tabs off. I just have them glued on with a hot glue gun. So here I am measuring. So I used about a 10 by 12 piece. This one is a little bit bigger than a 10 by 12. I think that was a 10 by 14. But you could use about a 10 by 12 piece of fabric. And I just pre-cut them all so that they will be ready to go. With this fabric, you have a shiny side and a side that's not so shiny. So you want to make sure that shiny side is facing out so that your jewelry can sit on that shiny side. So right here, I'm showing you, I'm going to actually cut some slits in the corners. So when I get ready to apply this on the bust, it will lay nicely in the corners there. So, and then like that bust there, we can just cut the excess. That's what the back of it looks like when I'm done. I cut the excess fabric off of it. And then, yeah, so that's how that one is done. We're going to make this one the same. I have quite a few, so I've been doing a little bit of every day. A few every day, not all one time, but yeah, just a few every day. And the fabric I did get from Hobby Lobby. I think it was Hobby Lobby, yeah. And I had about a yard. So I pre-cut them, so I had about 12 pieces that I cut out. I think it was a yard. So there we have the liquid stitch original and then the liquid stitch with the purple label. And I just bought that one. So it was coming out a little fast, so I decided to put it on a piece of foil and use a stick. The original one, you can use that straight out of the tube because it's a little bit thicker, so it doesn't, and the type of tube that it's in and the nozzle that it has, you can actually use it straight from the tube. But as I was using this one, I noticed that I actually like the one with the purple label on it better because it dries a little bit faster. So normally what I do here is I just put the glue on it. I'm using it on the velvet part there, just on the crease of the bust. And I start on one side and work my way all the way down that one side, and then I'll go to the other side. So, and then I do like the top section first. That way I'm able to get those creases. So I start off where the creases are, pulling that fabric as I do that, and then get it into those creases. And we're going to see what happens with it. And if you need to cut a little more in those creases, then you do that. You know, you have to figure out what works best for you. Again, like I say, I work from the top and I work down the other side. So here, we're going to go ahead and do that complete that side. And I have to kind of get that in that crease a little bit. And keeping whatever utensils you're using, make sure you keep them clean. Wipe them off, keep them clean. And try to keep your hands out of the glue. Like there, I'm getting that glue on my fingers. That's not a good thing. You want to not have to use your fingers because it does leave light brown spots from the glue if you don't let that glue dry completely. So a little bit more. We're going to work on that corner, get that corner done. Making sure you put a little bit on the back side because that does help to hold it tightly. Getting that bust crease. I'm only doing that little crease down the side of that bust. And a section at a time. So we're getting that on. And then we're going to work around that side. Then this glue here, the purple one, dries pretty fast. So yeah, we're able to work pretty fastly with it and get it on this bust. And for me, I've just been doing a little every day. A little every day goes a long way. So yeah, we're going to finish that side there. And then we'll let her dry a little bit. And here we go, adding some more of that glue. making sure we get it on the back of the bus, a little bit on the back of the bus. You don't need it a whole lot on the back of the bus. So now I've used enough out of that tube that it's not coming out too fast, so I'm able to actually use it straight from the tube onto the bus. And I have a habit, I close it up when I'm done, because each time, because I'm not sure if it dries fast while you have it open. I just didn't want to take that chance. Didn't want to take that chance. So when you're actually doing this, you want to make sure you leaving enough on that the opposite side. And there, I just wanted to tack it down a little bit, so because I don't want that flapping everywhere, so we just tighten it down a little bit. You want to make sure that you leaving enough fabric to glue the opposite side down also. So we're going to start off on that corner again on the top. We finished that one side. We're going to the opposite side now. And see how it has that wrinkles? Once you begin to pull that fabric, it's going to pull the wrinkles out. So go ahead and do your top side. Start off at the creases again. And then you're going to work your way down the other side of your bust. Keeping that glue, you want to keep that glue off the front of the bust too, because you don't want it to soak through the front of the fabric. So that's why I use it just on the crease of that bust and work my way down, and on the back of that bust. And pulling the fabric as I go. Here I had to cut it a little bit more, so we just cutting that crease a little bit so it lays a little bit flatter in that little crease there. Excuse me. All right, so again, see how I have the little buckles in it. This is one of the reasons that I started doing like one side and then work my way to the other side, is because of the creases. So right there, I'm just giving it some weight to hold it down, and we're gonna let that dry a little bit before we actually start to pull on the other side of this bust. So you do want it to dry some before you start to finish up your other side. Because if you don't, you're gonna pull your glue away from the bust, and then you're gonna have a problem with that fabric shifting. So a little bit at a time goes a long way. So I went back to the original one right there. We're just going to put that on there. It's just easier to come out, but yeah, it is what it is. Spreading it a little bit. I don't want thick chunks. So that's why I decided to use a stick also, so that I don't have like chunky spots with the glue. And just making sure I can get it on there much more even instead of straight. So here we already did that side, and we just have to, I let it dry some. Now we're going to work on the other side. Don't worry about the fabric on the back, because we will cut that off at the end. So see how now I'm pulling it. You can pull it and pull those wrinkles out. Once you use the glue, the liquid glue, to glue it on the bottom, it's going to get those wrinkles out of there. So yeah, that's the good thing about the stretch fabric. We're going to finish up this bottom half. And once you let that dry, you're able to pull that fabric like I said. So we're doing that bottom half. We're going to put that on there. And then what I usually do is move my stand, because you don't want to get that caught up in the glue or caught underneath the fabric. Or it's just move it out of the way. It just makes it easier. Fold that over and pull it tight from the bottom to stretch it out. And see, it's nice and smooth. We're going to pull it. And you have to make sure you're looking at the front as you do the gluing, because you want to make sure you are getting it right where it needs to be, pulling that fabric where it needs to be. Again, I'm just showing you the glue. Like I say, the original one doesn't dry as fast. That's the original. It doesn't dry as fast. The one with the purple fabric mender, that dries so much faster. So if you can find it, get the one that has the purple label on it. All right, so I'm pulling that there, and then we're going to flip that up and glue that bottom. And then we are done, and we'll cut all the excess off, and we are good to go. And just let it dry. and you are ready to go. And then I'll take a piece of jewelry and put it next to it so you guys can see what it looks like. But this is what we call recovering those busts. And how I have that little buckle there, we're going to pull that side down and it's going to help to get rid of that buckle as well, keeping all of your things clean. And then let it dry, cut the extra off, and you are ready to rock and roll. Yes, and that is ready to go. And where it's kind of sticking up on the back, you just take a little bit of your glue, put it down, and put a little glue there. Press it down, set a little weight on it, let it dry, and it will lay flat. So anytime you see like the little creases on the back, if you want them to lay a little flatter, then you just put some glue on it and let it sit. And that is what it looks like. And here is a piece so you can actually see what it looks like also. And you are ready to rock and go. Roll. So until next time, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. We will see you next time. Have a great one. Bye-bye.